everyone, this is Rihanna from A Frugal Life, and today we're going to talk about the top 18 things that frugal people consistently do. If you don't do these things, give them a try. It will help you to be more frugal. If you do these things, maybe they're just a reminder about what you need to be doing on a consistent basis. The first one sounds totally obvious, but it's to live within your means. So what that means is to buy things only when you can afford them, and you can only afford them if you can pay outright for them. So frugal people consistently do not put themselves into debt for things that they want and even for things that they need. So if you can avoid putting yourself into debt to get something, then you should definitely do so. If you need something like a car or an education or things, you may need to take out a small loan, but it's better if you can put yourself in as little debt as possible. So save up as much cash as you can to put down, and if at all possible, wait on that thing and save up cash to pay for it outright. You will save big time in the long run, and it will be worth it in your finances. So the second thing that frugal people do consistently is to not waste. Again, this one sounds obvious, but you would be surprised at the places you waste throughout your house. So our motto with myself and my husband is we don't waste in this house. So when we do something that means that we're not wasting, we remind each other we don't waste in this house. So that means we don't waste food, we don't waste leftovers, we don't waste food scraps. I turn them into broth. We don't waste clothing, we mend them. We don't waste anything, even building materials. My husband has a place in his shop that he saves wood scraps and metal scraps, and he ends up doing very productive things with them and making other projects with them. So whenever possible, remember the motto, we don't waste in this house, and you'll save money in the long run. So the third thing that frugal people consistently do, and frugal people across the board use this as a big time savings, is to save money on food. Food is a variable that you can largely control on a daily basis, and it's not something that's out of your control, maybe like a utility bill or a car payment. So save on food by cooking as much as possible at home, not eating out, and packing food to take with you when you do go out. There are multitudes of ways that you can save on food, and we will talk about them throughout my video series. And if you are not part of the Frugal Living Facebook group, I highly recommend that you join it. Food is a hot topic there, and we're always talking about recipes, cooking, and other things that'll help you to save money on food. The fourth thing that frugal people do is to shop smart. So if you do need to buy something, if you decided that that need or that want is essential to you, or you have saved up the money to purchase it, even if you saved up the total amount, we always buy on sale. So frugal people shop smart. They shop around, even if you have to shop around at discount stores like Walmart and Target. They shop around online. They find discount codes, which are really easy to find. I will put some links down below which help you find discount codes. And if you can't find a discount code, you get rebates for it. So most of the places that you can't find a discount code for, you can get a rebate for. So it used to be a site called Ebates. It's now called Rakuten, and I use it all the time to save money. You can get cash back, especially if you have to buy things for school like textbooks or supplies. A lot of the stores that I buy those for are on Rakuten, and Rakuten, the link is below to sign up, will send you cash back in check form for things that you purchase as long as you link through them. So definitely check that one out. And if all else fails, just at least shop around. Number 5 is a big one for us. It is buy used. So you can buy almost anything used and you will save a ton of money. So you can buy clothing used, even name brands. I have a thrift store shopping video. I will try to link it above. If not, I will link it down below. It'd be one of the 2 places. I highly recommend watching it. It will give you some tips on buying used clothing and brand names in thrift stores, and to purchase them used for a lot less money. They buy cars used. We always buy our cars used. Once you drive a new car off the lot, you've already lost money. So always buy cars used, but in good condition, of course. That's the other thing you want to think about here is shopping frugal, not cheap. So I also have a video on that I will link to you. You want to watch that one as well. It will tell you how to get the best value for your money and what's frugal and what's cheap. But definitely buy used. Furniture, clothes, toys, anything that you can think of, you can purchase used and save a ton of money. The 6th thing that frugal people do is to DIY. Learn do-it-yourself techniques and use them often, use them daily. You can make so many things yourself for less money. And I'm not talking about frou-frou crafts like wreaths and things, although those are fun to make. Those are not things that are essential. Those are a hobby, but you can DIY things that are very productive and helpful to your household. So you can make your own furniture, you can make your own clothes. My husband is building a car practically from scratch. He bought a used car and he is building it and welding parts for it and doing all kinds of things DIY. He even makes tools for himself instead of purchasing specialty tools. So YouTube is going to be your friend. You can start there, put in DIY, put in how to make, and wait for the videos to pop up, and you will start learning DIY techniques you can use every day to save money in your household. Seventh thing that frugal people do is to question your purchases. And I wrote down a few questions that you want to ask yourself. Whenever you have a purchase that's more than $100 or even smaller than that, if you have a lower budget, you want to definitely question yourself before you purchase. So you're first going to ask yourself, do I really need it? You're going to ask yourself, do I really want it? You're going to ask yourself, do I have to have it now? You're going to ask yourself, can I wait? Ask yourself all the questions before you purchase. A lot of the times you'll find out you don't really need it. A lot of the times you'll find out that you can wait for it until it goes on sale, or you can use something else in its place, especially in the kitchen. Kitchen is a gadget keeper. There are so many things in the kitchen that only do one thing that you could actually use one item for across the board. Things like egg cookers, you can cook all sorts of things in one pot instead of buying a specialty gadget for it. So ask yourself the question before you purchase, and remember, if you do purchase, make sure to shop around and get coupons for it. The thing is kind of obvious as well, and we all have our vices, but frugal people avoid bad habits. Frugal people don't smoke, drink, or do drugs, and if they do, they are always trying to quit. So frugal people don't want to spend money on things that are not essential. Bad habits that are bad for your health or the health of your family are an easy thing to cut out of your budget. It may not be easy to quit, but once it's gone, it's gone. So my husband was a big time smoker when I first met him. He did quit almost 15 years ago and has not had a cigarette since. And I am so thankful, because back when he did smoke, he smoked almost 2 packs a day at $3 a pack. Now packs are about $10 a pack, and we wouldn't even be able to pay our mortgage if he still smoked. So cut out bad habits and you're going to save big time money for your family. The ninth thing frugal people do is educate themselves. Educate, educate, educate. I'm always trying to find new things to learn. And my friends and family will tell you that I'm doing a million things all at once. So you can educate yourself, and you can educate yourself for free. So I do take college classes. I do have financial aid for it, so I don't pay for them, but that is to get a degree. You can educate yourself on other things totally for free on YouTube. So you can learn almost anything on YouTube. So many of the things that my husband does in the shop on his car, he learned how to do via YouTube. I've learned to sew different things, masks and other items I didn't know how to sew, on YouTube. I learned to can entirely on YouTube. My grandmother did can when I was little, but I didn't know the specifics of how to do it. So I learned that on YouTube. And I do have a video on 3 online places you can take full real college courses online for free. They're totally useful. You can take nutrition classes, computer classes, degree classes, all sorts of things totally free. I'm going to link to that video up above so you can get some more information. But frugal people are always educating ourselves on how we can do things ourselves, and we educate ourselves for free. Number 10 is hobbies. So you can have your hobbies that cost money. You always want to try to cut down the money that you spend on those hobbies. I will put another video up above on how to cut things out of your budget. And one of those things is how to cut down on your hobbies. That is my TAC method of frugal living. But if you don't want to watch that right now, continue to watch this video till the end. You're going to get so many more tips. Just put link to that video to watch later, and cut down on your hobbies by making your hobbies productive. So you can do a lot of productive things like canning, dehydrating, crafting, and DIYing for your home decor, sewing. You can sew your own clothes or mend your own clothes. Learn how to do those things again on YouTube and turn those into hobbies that are productive for your household. If you learn to sew even a minor amount, you will never pay for alterations again. We never pay for alterations, we do them ourselves. So productive hobbies are something that frugal people always have, and things that frugal people do. Number number 12 now, and frugal people, for number 12, set aside an emergency fund. So this is something that may be down the line. Don't panic if you don't have any money to set aside, but frugal people start saving early. Just start saving a little bit at a time if you can't save now, but you need to save for an emergency fund. So I didn't formally like Dave Ramsey, but now I've gotten into him. I've been won over by his knowledge, and the way he treats people now is much better than he did in the past. So Dave Ramsey, I highly recommend starting to watch his free videos and check his books out of the library. He will help you learn how to save an emergency fund. He recommends a $1,000 emergency fund, which is the perfect amount if you need a car repair or a house repair or a medical bill that's small and needs to be taken care of right away. And then he also recommends 3 to 6 months of emergency fund. But frugal people do save up an emergency fund because it is so much cheaper and better to pay cash for an emergency than to borrow money from a credit card or loan. So frugal people save an emergency fund. Number 13, and we're getting down that line. I promise, stay with me. You're going to find so much more that you need to do if you're going to be a frugal person. Number 13 is to save your change. And I have a change jar from when I was 2 years old that my grandma saved for me that has wheat pennies in it. And it just reminds me that you can save change as well. So people save change in a jar. We always save our change in a jar when we come home, and then we add it all up in the end and use it for maybe a special treat or an emergency. You can dump that change jar out and use it as emergency. I have also been using Acorns lately. Again, another link for you. I will put that down below. But Acorns allows you to round up when you shop. So if you purchase something for $1.99, it'll put that penny in your Acorns account and you never even notice it. I actually had to cash it out the other day. I cashed out $175. I didn't even notice I had saved because I had a problem with a bill that was overdue, and I was able to pay it with that money. So always save your change for emergencies. You can even use that change towards your emergency fund. Frugal people save their change. Number 14, reduce your bills. And this is something that comes down later down the line, or you can do it in the very beginning of your frugal journey. It does not matter as long as you start doing it. Even if you think that they are bills that you can't change, like your PG&E and your water, they can be reduced. It is not as hard as you think. Watch some more of my videos, watch the TAC method video, and you will learn how to reduce your bills. Definitely join the Frugal Living Facebook group. We have so many members. We have 50,000 members and growing right now, and they have tons and tons of ideas on how to reduce your bills. Frugal people always try to reduce their bills. I call my insurance company every 6 months on the dot every single year and ask them to reduce my auto insurance, and it always goes down a tiny bit, or they give me something extra. So reducing your bills is a huge thing frugal people do. 16, I promise we're getting towards the end, is to maintain your own car. Start one thing at a time. If you don't know cars, if your husband does not know cars, if you don't have a spouse that can work on cars, if you don't have a friend or family that can work on cars, you can do it yourself. I am a 40-something-year-old plus size woman, and I am learning from my husband how to work on cars. He has already taught me to rotate tires and change tires. I can do brakes with his help. I'm not quite strong enough to do it myself, but I learned how to do brakes. We are doing one thing at a time. I'm learning how to take care of my own car. You can definitely do things like fill your oil and fill your fluids, check your oil. All these things you can do yourself. You do not have to pay for them. Frugal people always maintain their own cars and learn how to do their own car repairs. If you don't feel like you can do it, you can help somebody in your family learn by finding the information for them. And again, YouTube is your friend. Learn how to maintain your own cars. Number 17, we're going to talk about YouTube again, is to repair, not replace. And I'm talking not just about cars, but anything. Our dishwasher, which was brand new, went kaputty. My dad was so lovely and bought us a brand new dishwasher this year, and it went kaput, and we did not know why. We spent 6 hours between myself and my husband searching YouTube videos, but it ended up being a $7 part we bought at the hardware store. We fixed it ourselves with some minor tools we already had in the house. We did not pay $200 to a repairman, which is what it would have cost for him to come out and replace that one part, and we definitely didn't buy a new dishwasher. So YouTube is your friend. If something breaks in your home, whether you own your home or not, if you don't own your home, obviously call your landlord to replace what they will replace, but you can also fix your own things. So you can mend your own clothes, fix your own furniture, fix your own appliances. Repair, not replace is your motto that you want to go along with don't waste. We don't waste in this house. We don't replace in this house. Number 18 is going to lead into my next video I'm going to be posting is stockpiling. So I'm talking about stockpiling, not hoarding. I will have an entire video on it. Try to link it when I put it up. In the meantime, just remember you need to stockpile things you use and only for the amount of time that you use them. Do not buy 17,000 hand sanitizers, but if you see them on sale and you will use 3 hand sanitizer bottles in the next 3 months, it is perfectly acceptable to purchase them on sale. It's perfectly acceptable to buy milk and freeze it. It's perfectly acceptable to buy 25 cans of green beans if in the next 2 months you're going to use 25 cans of green beans. So it is okay to stockpile. We will talk about it more later, but it's okay to stock up on things that you will use during the time that you will use them and buy them on sale. So stockpile, don't hoard, but frugal people definitely stock up on things that they need when they are on sale. Okay, we've come to the end of our video. That has been 18 things that frugal people do. If you like this video, go and check out the other videos I linked throughout this one, or go down to the bottom and click on some more videos that I've linked down there. Please subscribe so you don't miss my next frugal living video. Go ahead and share this with your friends, like and comment what your tip is, and let us know what you think frugal people do that I missed in this video. Talk to you later. Bye.